How you doing, Barcelona fans? All good in life? Oh my goodness, of course. Right, we know Kun Agüero's out for 8 weeks, so he's kind of exempt from this conversation. But for example, Memphis Depay, Eric Garcia. Jules, this is such a strange situation, and we discussed it before, and I've discussed it as well with Sid and Gemma today, for example, trying to get my head round whether or not, in fact, these players can play against Real Sociedad at the weekend. And as it stands, they can't, can they?
No, they can't, because the wage bill and is still over the salary cap, as we've explained. Again, that's why Messi had to leave, and that's why those players are still not registered. You only allowed a wage bill to be 70% of your whole income. Right now, it's 95% for Barcelona if you include Memphis Depay's wages, Eric Garcia's wages, and Kun Agüero's wages. And 95 is obviously higher than 70%. So this is just not good enough. They still have to offload players, to let some players go before being able to register those players. You would ask me, why did they sign them? Well, they signed them when they did, because if they had to wait to offload their current players, those players would have signed somewhere else. So the idea was very much, let's make sure that they are ours, Kun Agüero, Garcia and Depay, and almost Wijnaldum. And then once we've got rid of the players that we want to get rid of and make room in our salary cap for them, then we register them. The problem is, all the players they were trying to offload, Griezmann, Umtiti, Langlais, Sergio Roberto to a certain extent as well, are still there. So right now, at this moment of time, there's no room in the Barcelona wage bill, salary cap if you want, for Memphis, Garcia and Kun Agüero.
Overall, this is really sad, isn't it? Really sad that a great club with so much support has been left in this sort of state.
How do you get to this point? Yeah. This is not one wrong decision. No. This is years and years of inept decision making at that sort of level for Barcelona. It's not just one decision that they got wrong. It's not just one player. This is lack of planning. This is lack of organization, lack of checks and balances. That there is nobody that says, hey, wait a minute.
Like in any other normal job.
Yes. You go into a boardroom. You present what the plan is for the future. You do your PowerPoint presentation, and nobody says, is anybody seeing what I'm seeing? That 110% of our income is going out the door. We are losing money, and we're going to continue to lose money, and that nobody says, people, we have to change. We have to dramatically change the way that we do business and that we think about our business structure. And don't tell me, because this is part of the discussion going on out there, well, the pandemic. Yes, the pandemic had a major effect on everybody, but those that were prepared financially because they were responsible in their decision-making process over the last decade, they could withstand it. Those that were not prepared, those that were disorganized, those that already were building a house of cards, well, those are the ones in trouble. And of course, Barcelona is one of them. And a question to the agents of Memphis and Eric Garcia and whoever else signed for Barcelona. Did they not know? Did they not ask the question? Because if they didn't, they're inept as well. The fact that they're coming into a season without knowing if their clients are going to be able to play for the team that they signed for, that's also a big mistake.
However, Stephen, if I look at the team, and if I'm working for Barcelona TV, I'll say, Lionel Messi has gone, we wish him well in his adventures, but now it's time for those to shine, that we've paid so much money for.
Yeah, and
on paper, this isn't a bad team.
No, on paper, on paper, unfortunately, you have to play the game. Barcelona TV, as you said, as all big clubs own TV.
Yep.
Look at all the positives.
Sure.
And there's plenty of positives. Ter Stegen in goal. Dest coming through. Pedri. So all of these things, you can even look at Busquets and say, you know what? This is perfect. You've got all these young players and you've got the perfect role model and the perfect experienced guy in the middle of the park to bring them all along.
I've got to feel there's a but coming.
Well, of course there is. The problem is Busquets can't get around the field. But if you're looking at the positives and you're looking at on paper, yes, they've still got a good side. And yes, they're going to be good enough to qualify for the Champions League with this team.
Right.
They're just not going to be good enough to win the Liga.
Jules, is there any possibility they can get rid of some players, obviously, as we've discussed before, to try and get these new players in? It seems like they've already hit a brick wall in that sense.
I mean, they've been trying since day one, really. I think even since Laporta has become the president, they've been checking who they could move, how, and they did a little bit. We saw some of the kids, Alenia, De La Fuente, who've left for 5 million, 10 million there, but that's not what's going to make the difference. The difference is Antoine Griezmann earning 600,000 a week. That's the difference. Umtiti not playing on huge wages. That's the difference. Coutinho, exactly the same. Dembele to a certain extent as well, and all the others that clearly are not good enough, certainly for Ronald Koeman and this team and this squad, or too expensive. But no one will take them on those wages. That's the problem, and that's how, to go back to Ali's point earlier, that's years of bad management, mismanagement, of offering those contracts, sometimes even renewing the contract. Okay, you can make a mistake the first time and give a 5-year deal with ridiculous amount of wages, but don't do it again, not with the same player straight after. And that's exactly what they did. And now they only have themselves to blame to start with. Even before the pandemic and all of that, La Liga, Tebas, it's themselves first. And now good luck to them in the next 3 weeks until the end of the transfer window to try to get rid of them, because I don't think they will be able to. Maybe Pjanic is the most likely one maybe to go back to Italy, but again, that's not going to be a big difference enough.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.